Assalamu alaikum and good day to the respected assessors. My name is Chaudhry Mohammad Aziz Anwar, enrolled in Bachelor of Accounting program at University Abdur Razak. This presentation is submitted for the APEL-C challenge test for the course Principle of Management. Through this presentation, I will demonstrate how core management principles are applied in real professional situations using two case scenarios. The focus will be decision making, ethical judgment, managerial responsibility, and personal professional reflection. The main purpose of this presentation is to demonstrate my understanding and practical application of management principles. It highlights how managers use structured decision-making models to solve complex organizational problems. The presentation also addresses ethical and managerial challenges commonly faced in professional environments, especially in accounting and advisory firms. Additionally, it allows me to reflect on my professional learning and managerial development. The approach used is based on two real-life inspired case scenarios supported by recognized management and ethical frameworks. Case 1 focuses on budget reallocation at Apex Accounting Services, which is mid-sized accounting firm. The firm is experiencing declined revenues due to market pressure, while operational costs such as technology, staffing, and compliance are increasing. As a result, senior management has requested a leading role from the finance manager to review and reallocate departmental budgets. The challenge arises because available financial resources are limited, while departments such as IT, HR, marketing, and client services all consider their budgets critical to operation. Several key management issues emerge in this case. Firstly, there is a risk to the firm's long-term financial sustainability if costs are not controlled. Secondly, competitions among departments create interdepartmental conflicts and tensions. Thirdly, employee may feel demotivated if budget cuts are perceived as unfair. Finally, there is a serious risk of biased decision-making if personal preferences or departmental influence affect the process. Therefore, management must act objectively, ethically, and transparently. To address these challenges, a rational decision-making model was applied. The process started by clearly defining the core problem, which was limited resources versus unlimited demands. Next, decision criteria were established, such as strategic importance and financial impact. All departmental requests were evaluated against these criteria. The best alternative was selected based on objective scoring, followed by monitoring to ensure proper implementation and accountability. Budget evaluation was conducted using four main criteria: strategic importance, cost benefit impact, operational risk, and long term sustainability. IT was prioritized because digital transformation improved efficiency and reduced long term cost. Client services funding was maintained to protect service quality and client satisfaction. HR spending focused on retaining key talent essentials for service delivery. Marketing expenses were reduced where campaigns showed low measurable impact. This balanced approach ensured both cost control and strategic alignment. Bias is a major risk in managerial decision making. In this case, potential biases included departmental lobbying, favoritism by senior managers, and overemphasis on recent performance. To control this risk, a structured scoring matrix was used. Clear and transparent evaluation criteria were shared with all stakeholders. Final decisions were reviewed at executive level and properly documented, ensuring accountability, fairness, and ethical integrity. This case closely reflects situations I have encountered in professional practice. It reinforced the importance of transparency and open communication when making difficult financial decisions. I learned that involving stakeholders in a fair process increases acceptance even when outcomes are unfavorable. Most importantly, I realized that ethical decision making strengthens organizational trust and long term stability. Case 2 relates to client conflict of interest in tax advisory services. The firm was advising two major clients operating in the same industry with a similar expansion strategies. This situation created a potential conflict of interest as sensitive information could overlap. The ethical risk included breach of confidentiality, perceived favoritism, and serious reputational damage. Managing this situation required strong ethical awareness and professional judgment. Several management considerations had to be evaluated. Ethical obligations acquired strict confidentiality and integrity. Legal and regulatory compliance had to be maintained to avoid professional misconduct. Financial impact was considered as losing a client could reduce revenue. However, firm reputation and professional credibility were given higher priority. Managers were required to demonstrate ethical leadership and proactive risk management. An ethical decision-making model was applied in this case. First, all stakeholders were identified, including client, staff, and the firm. Next, the ethical issue was clearly defined. Various alternatives were evaluated by referring to professional standards. The IESBA Code of Ethics was used as the main reference, particularly confidentiality and integrity principles. The final decision was documented to ensure accountability. Several options were considered, such as disengaging from one client or continuing without controls. The most ethical and practical solution was to implement ethical firewalls. Separate advisory teams were assigned to each client. Information barriers were introduced to prevent data leakage. Clients were informed transparently and compliance monitoring procedures were established. This ensured ethical compliance without unnecessary loss of business. This case reinforced that ethical integrity protects long-term organization value. Short-term financial gain should never override ethical responsibilities. Proper documentation proved essential in protecting both the firm and professionals. Overall, this experience enhanced my ethical awareness and strengthened my confidence as a manager and leader. This presentation demonstrated the application of structured management principles in addressing complex organizational challenges. Through rational and ethical decision-making models, effective and fair solutions were developed for both cases scenarios. The analysis highlighted the importance of transparency, bias control, and ethical leadership in managerial decisions. These approaches support long-term sustainability, organization morale, and stakeholder confidence. Overall, the cases reflect the practical application of management theory in real-world professional environments. Thank you for your time and attention. This concludes my presentation for the APEL-C challenge test. I appreciated the opportunity to demonstrate my learning and professional experience. I welcome my feedback or question regarding this presentation. Thank you.